It's recording.
So hey, it's Eric with Continental Diamond Products here, the maker of Terminator CNC tool lines and Terminator bits. Here at Tower Collection, and here with Steve Walker, the lead programmer and production manager. I just want to get a little bit of input on how our tools have been performing from your perspective instead of my perspective and other people who are in the industry. What have you seen about our tooling that's actually been a help to this company, not just talk and hype?
Well, first of all, there's a couple things. You're going to end up with a better polish and incredible amount of longevity out of these, the diamonds especially. For the sets that we've used the OG set and the Demi set, and they're pretty much the best high-speed bits that we've actually used since we've been using high-speed bits. We've had a couple sets that we used before these, and they pretty much wore out within a 3-month period or so. And that's with a lot of calibration every other weekend. You can attest to us working together and coming in here every other weekend and calibrating these things. And when you're calibrating those, we were calibrating all the diamonds. And as far as the high speeds we've used from Terminator, pretty much we've had our first set on since May of 2009, and I don't think we even calibrated polish wheels until January of this year.
Right.
And the diamonds are still, haven't really even touched them at all. So it's saved us a ton of money as far as having to go through and buy a couple different sets, as well as labor and all that time for coming in and recalibrating all these things like we used to.
Right. So you would say that the value of our product is actually more competitive than even what our competitors are making, due to the longevity of our life of the tools.
Definitely, because of the longevity. In other words, instead of putting pretty much, you're going through at least 2 sets of the competitor tools in the length of time that you would 1 set of Terminators. Now I can't really, I mean, it may be longer than that because we're still using the first set that we put on. So definitely value in the price as far as buying the product. I will say the only calibration that really is needed right now for us is the polish wheels, bringing those in a little bit.
Right, and in every aspect of that, you have to do a little tweaking. But for those who don't know, I actually used to work here, and those duties, what me and Steve would used to do would be on Saturdays. We would come in every Saturday with the old school tooling. We would actually calibrate. We have 2 machines here at this shop. At Steve's shop, we would actually come in and calibrate every week. Each machine would get a full calibration through every set of tools. And we'd spend all our Saturdays. We typically spend 6 to 7 hours recalibrating machines. And what Steve was talking about was we actually, as a test, because before I worked with Continental, I actually was a customer and ran the tools. I never touched the tools that we put on the machine until my last day here to recalibrate them. What did I have to do? I changed a Diamond 1 and the polish wheels. And then the positions 2, 3, and 4 were still like new. They hadn't changed shape at all. So, again, what Steve said, we don't know how long they're going to last. So, for us, it's a huge testament to our value of the quality here.
It's pretty amazing. I'm sure he will show you an example of what these edges look like, but pretty much they look like a glass finish from the first week we had them until now. I mean, after that polish wheel calibration in January, he'll show you samples of what we got, and I mean, they're coming off perfect. Our polishers, that's another reason we're saving, because our polishers are doing minor touch-ups on things. They got more time to do repairs and things like that, and they're sending stuff out looking really good, so with minimal hand fabrication.
Right, and we don't want to claim that our tools, you'll have no touch-up. That's not what we're trying to do, but you will have the minimum amount of handwork. The nature of handwork that you should be experiencing is actually in fixing blowouts of certain materials like delicatas. There's certain materials that you can't avoid. Sometimes if you have a Durango hone materials, you're going to have to finish that stuff up by hand. But, 95% of all the materials will come off the machine ready to go out the door. with just minimal touch-up. You know, blending the bottoms in, doing returns. There's never going to be a tool that will actually do 100% of all the work. It's just not out there. But this right here will get you as close as possible, and also allow you to have minimum. Your consumables will go down, and you're not having to spend as much money on polishing pads. Even though we'd love for you to continue buying our pads, but you know it's a trade-off. We want to be honest about this, and so